Now, as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important, we apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I am Ryan. I thought he was real.
And I'm Sean. Welcome to the RTS as we welcome Trenton or Santa Claus back. I'm a real boy.
I'm a real man. Oh, man.
Well, as we jump into this show, guys, and not make any sense to our 14 viewers,
Right.
I would like to say that tomorrow is the Real Tree Shaker Show 5-month anniversary, guys. So congrats to us.
Awesome.
So please, yes.
Where's my confetti at?
We accept any and all gifts.
All out.
Yes, just listen. That's all we really want.
Yeah,
so
true. That's free.
And
yep.
And Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ryan will try anything one time. So sign him up. Sign him up.
Almost anything I should have said, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Can't go back on it now.
That's right, because it has been documented. So if you did miss our quick little episode, I say quick, it was only 40 minutes, but that's quick for us.
Yeah.
But we did talk about the Kansas City Chiefs
Crybabies.
crying. Why isn't it not working? Anyways, I had the cry button pushed, but anyways, then we dabbled into how our fantasy teams didn't do this year. Then we talked about the key injuries to the quarterbacks and how it's going to affect fantasy, our championship hopes. And then we talked how Shohei Ohtani in 2034 will be getting $68 million a year for 10 years from his deferred 10-year, $700 million, ridiculously large contract. But with that, we just had a pretty good, exciting week in the NFL, guys. Any game that particularly stuck out in your mind? I think I said that right.
Yes. Several upsets.
I was going to say there were several games that stuck out. I mean, talk about Monday Night Football. I mean, both of those, Titans and the G-Men coming through.
DeVito
president.
David. But even the Rams and Ravens game stuck out too, because I just didn't expect that kind of performance out of either team in questionable conditions. On top of that, the Rams, an indoor team, going outdoors and performing like that. So I think there's someone to be taken serious now. I mean,
I know you talked about the
can
Dolphins.
Make a run.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could too. I know you talked about the Dolphins too. I mean, you want to talk about the MVP race. How bad did they look when Hill went out? Tyreek was out, and I was like, that's how valuable he is to that team. Like he kind of moves the needle for them.
Exactly.
So, Tua looked pretty average without Tyreek out there. So.
I'm kind of surprised
we'll see if that lingers on.
Waddle wasn't used or involved more once he went down. That's kind of
he's been a bust this year, kind of. I'd say a little bit of a bust.
Mm-hmm.
So
I figured they would just do more ways to get Mostert and Achane involved more. Yeah, Achane, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
I know he gave you options on how you can say his name. But yeah.
Glad they didn't get Achane involved more, or else somebody would have not won. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that game was just bad because, I mean, they pretty much were given 2 touchdowns, with the muff punt.
Yep.
So they had the short drive there, and then the whatever the hell Mayo boy was doing on that pass that the D tackle intercepted and ran it in.
Yeah.
for a touchdown.
Too much mustard
I don't
on
know what he
football.
was doing there. That's
but
right.
I mean, that was very
That's right.
that was a Mike Vrabel kind of game to a certain point, but not on that offensive level. I didn't see that coming on the last couple. That was just nuts. So
yeah,
it's good though.
I think they had a
Great,
3%
great
chance to
finish.
win or
Yeah,
something.
well, I mean,
whatever it was very low. I know that.
I think it was like 787 teams or 43 teams or something when they've been down 14 points with 3 minutes left haven't won. So it's like some kind of crazy number.
Yeah,
but
pretty rare.
I mean, for as much as he was ridiculed on draft day and in the draft process, I'd got to say that Levis has looked a lot better than the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young.
Yeah,
who continues to struggle and just looks like a kid among men.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all bigger than Bryce Young, and he's in shape. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I think part of it's coaching for him too down there or over there. Like I don't think it's been the steps he's accustomed to in a way. I mean, you can see him trying to get the ball down the field more now. But the ball's just not getting completed. But I mean, Levis has only really had 2 good games, roughly, or maybe even 3.
Yeah, the game against the Falcons
and stuff like that,
and the one last night was decent.
But I mean, his leadership roles and stuff like that. I mean, like it's showing.
Sure,
it's carried over through the team. So hats off to him. Though. That was great. It's great. That was a great game.
Yeah, way better than the Vikings.
Well, let's
and Raiders.
stay on Monday night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second. But let's go to Mr. DeVito and the Giants coming back and moving themselves to 1 game out of the wild card. But did the Giants win this, or did the Packers lose it?
I would say the Packers lost it because they didn't get the 2-point conversion / didn't stop them on defense on the last series of the game. But I'd say the way that the Giants were able to move the ball all game, I think the Giants kept themselves in it, especially on the defensive side. And so I think, you'd have to say the Giants won it too, though. I think it's a 50-50.
Yeah, I think that's why games have been so tough to predict this year. Just consistent. You don't know what you're going to get. You have Jordan Love, who looked like like he was looking so great against the Chiefs. A much better defense, looked great, and then he goes and plays the Giants, and he kind of looks like dog shit a little bit. I mean, they couldn't move the ball. It was just like, I was just like, I feel like it's been that for him the whole season. He's had those string of games where you've been like, oh, he is the future. And then you're like, but then there's last night and maybe not, So
I mean, that's fair though. I mean, that's how their season's gone. So a couple good games and then a couple bad ones. But I mean, again, that team's young and it's without Aaron Jones, it's not as maybe as explosive or consistent too on the running area.
They beat the Chiefs without him.
Christian Watson.
Oh, again,
Christian Watson
consistency
in and out of the lineup too.
There's nothing in the NFL that's been consistent this year besides the Niners. That's it.
Right.
And they've even
or the bad officiating.
And even they lost 3 in a row.
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, but okay, so Green Bay plays Tampa, at Carolina, at Minnesota, Chicago.
Pretty easy schedule.
Win 3 or 4 of those.
That's what I mean.
Still,
but Bears are playing better though. Like I mean, again, if they're gonna try to get in the playoffs and they have that playoff spot right now, then they need to act like a playoff team. So,
right.
Yeah, that's you have to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and the way the Giants season is gone, they should have beat them. But 3-game winning streak for the Giants. I don't remember what that feels like, so let us enjoy for a little bit. But one other, the Lions. What's up with the Lions, man? These last 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what Ryan stared at.
They have
fraud alert.
These last 3 weeks.
Up close and personal.
Fraud alert. Yep. I mean, Goff outside is just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't get them. They're sloppy. The defense has just sucked lately. They're giving up points to everybody. And I mean, Fields has always played good against the Lions, but I don't know. What do you think Detroit needs to do? Because for a while we were all thinking they could get that number 1 seed, and now they need that number 1 seed to have a chance to get to the Super Bowl.
Seems like it. Yeah, Jared Goff nine turnovers in his last 3 games. You know, he's definitely just been, you know, throwing the ball up there. I mean, hasn't been using his weapons. He's looked, you know, like his old self before he left the Rams. I mean, you could say, you know, he's looked pretty bad, and defense, no pass rush at all when Hutchinson was getting in there before, and it's been non-existent now. And their DBs are just getting beat constantly getting beat. So this don't look good, man. I mean, it's not a good, you know, time to bite some kneecaps, I guess.
Do something. But yeah, Ryan's right, and I mean the defense has been. I mean, they've had some injuries. I mean, no excuses, right? But they've kind of looked. The defense has been suspect all year from the moment it started, and I think the offense has just been able to bail them out or just simply outperformed other teams. I think the Lions are a good team, and but at the same time, they got some flaws there they need to work on because it's a bad time to be playing that way too, especially when you want to be, say, hot going into the playoffs or consistent and not limping in, because some of the hot teams, like say the Rams, if they go on a run, they're going to knock you out of there real quick.
Right.
So, and that weather's not going to improve at all. So when you get on those outdoor games, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's as bad as they are on the road. They're still 5-2 on the road, so it's just not as crisp as when they're inside. Yep. And I mean, and they got a 2-game lead over the Vikings, and I don't think anybody in that division really threatens them. I think maybe Green Bay, but I mean, they got to keep pace with. I mean, because right now they're the 3 seed only because the Bucks. At 6 and 7 or the other division leader. So yeah, the Lions would host the first round, but they would get the Vikings right now if the playoffs started today, so they could advance. But I mean, if they have to go on the road to anywhere, like Philly when it's cold, I mean that game's over before it even starts. I mean, at least Dallas would be inside, San Francisco would be outside, nice weather, but it's San Francisco, so Detroit needs to tighten it up and get Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery the ball. I mean, run the ball. Just run the ball and keep the ball limited in how many times Goff throws.
There's still
anybody, the other team.
Still some time left, so it's like I heard the head coach saying something like he could be more irritable or annoying kind of thing. It's like, okay, so if he's going to go do that, usually if coaches are going to be that way, they're going to get some kind of response out of their team. So I'd say give them a second. I mean, it's the best they've done in 60-something years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What was it? I wrote something down. It was like the first time that they were 9-3 since like 1983 or something like that. Oh, there you go. No, 1962.
Yeah, 62.
It was the first time they had been 9-3.
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
So I mean, they're talented, but I mean, you gotta win those games, even if it's just an ugly, 3-point win. You gotta find. That's what the good teams do.
That's true.
When you're not playing good, you find a way to win.
That is very, very true.
You have to do that.
Very, very true.
But I guess you got to learn how to lose before you learn how to win. But let's talk about Flacco and the Browns taking on the Jags, and props to Trevor. I mean, it looks like T-Law could barely walk last week, And why didn't they have a cart for him? They made him walk all the way up the freaking tunnel.
He said he didn't
want to. Why did they have
he wants to be tough guy.
Whatever, man. You sit your ass down. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Sunshine. But you got to... But, I mean, he battled, but I think Cleveland was just, I mean, do we take Cleveland serious? Because the AFC is kind of wide open.
Well, Cleveland has the most wins against plus 500 teams. They're 6-0 against any plus 500 teams. So, they win those games.
Mm-hmm.
That, and they're with their defense. I think they have the best defense in the league right now, if I'm not mistaken. But Flacco is. He's showing that, like, even at his age, like, they need someone who can throw the ball, and those other two guys are just not been consistent. And so, I don't know, they might have some structure there now with him. Moving the ball down the field, especially with the run game.
He's been efficient. They're going to be some
kind of. It's been efficient. It's been more efficient than they were, right? They just get lucky in other plays, but if they're in there, like, I would take them more for real than I would say, like, the Steelers right now.
Oh yeah.
Even, like, I guess
easily,
the Steelers
easily.
So I think the Colts are a scrappy team, but, like, I would still give the Browns a nod over them right now. So.
Agreed with that. Browns over the Bills.
I think the Browns would keep it close. Yep. I probably would. I'd probably give the Browns the edge.
I agree. I think the only thing that this team would need to make a deep run is if they had Nick Chubb. If Chubb hadn't, unfortunately, suffered that injury, if they had Chubb right now, they might be the best team in the AFC.
I think they might be competing for that. Well, depending on the Watson and everything else injury, but, like, I think they would too.
True.
Man, Cleveland's so stupid for that.
Yeah.
For that guaranteed contract.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, so last week, guys, 2 games went to halftime at 0-0.
Ugh.
We had the Texans at the Jets, and that game ended up 30-6. Yeah.
Oh,
so the second half, there were little fireworks. Yeah. Oh, nothing. You just missed another punt. But Zach Wilson played pretty good in that. But then you go to that second game that was 0-0 at halftime. It was the Vikings at the Raiders. And it finished 3-0, tying for the lowest scored in NFL history in the game.
Yeah, it was horrible. I was wondering, I was like, why isn't Red Zone going to this game? Oh, well, nothing happened in it. I feel bad for anybody in those areas that had to watch that game. It's like,
people who paid the money.
Could you imagine if you saved up all year
to go
and
to
that was
game?
the game you wanted to go to, and you're like,
that's what I was about to say.
That's
what I was about to say.
Oh man, that's like going to an NBA game and all the stars are sitting out.
Yeah.
Where is everybody?
It was terrible. It was terrible, and there's really nothing else to say about it. It's like waste of time. Waste of time is a good way.
2 teams that are not going to be in the playoffs because I don't think the Vikings are going to be there.
I'm interested.
No,
I'm interested to see what Mullins can do because he's more of a gunslinger than, say, Dobbs is, and he showed it with San Fran for a few games and stuff years back. Like he can move the ball, especially with the weapons they have. So I'm interested to see, but.
No Jefferson.
It's hard to say they're going to make the play.
Well, hopefully he plays
they're saying
more than 13 plays
this
week.
Optimistic to play. So, but playoff team,
he's got to get out there.
I don't think they're a playoff team. I think someone like the Bucks or the Saints, even the Falcons. I think they sneak in over the Vikings. So. That's right now. We'll see how those. See how those.
Speaking of those Bucks, how about that big win?
Oh, you're back on the Bucks now.
Against Hot Atlanta, yeah.
Okay.
Hot Atlanta, the Bucks securing the NFC South.
I don't know if he was talking about
6 and 7, baby.
Hold at 6 and 7.
I don't know if he was talking about his other team, the Cowboys. So.
That'll be later.
I was trying to avoid talking about that game.
Savory team.
But, all right, since we brought that game up, is Philly just worn out, overrated, or is Dallas that good this year?
I think Philly's. I think they lost some key pieces from their defense from last year, and so I think part of that is they just don't have. They're not clicking / don't have that spark like they did. I think they're just trying to figure some things out on both sides of the ball. I just think the Cowboys have been on they're hot right now, but also this was a home game for the Cowboys, and they took care of business. They almost beat them in Philly, so hats off to them. But I don't know. I wouldn't say the Eagles are done yet. I wouldn't say that. And I also wouldn't start crowning the Cowboys anything right now. So.
Right.
Nope. If they, I mean, if Dallas is on pace to win to win 12 games for the third straight year.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter the regular season.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think it's a successful season for them unless they reach like the NFC Championship, at least.
I agree on that.
I will say this though: they have one in December, which they usually don't do. They're 2-0 in December.
That's true.
They usually do not win this month. It's when they usually choke. So.
Yep. Well, there's still plenty of time for that, but
true.
I give them credit. They're playing well. I mean, they're playing consistent, but I just wouldn't go. I wouldn't go crown them anything yet until they go out there and improve something when it really matters. So.
I would crown them the second best team in the NFC.
At this point,
yeah, because 49ers thumped Dallas.
Yeah.
And the fact
and
they've kept
49ers thumped Philly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll give you that. But again, that could change next week. So I don't know.
True.
We'll see how it all unravels, I guess. But it stinks. It's all coming to an end.
I know.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyways.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
We could. Okay, we could do without that. Just turn the mic down a couple notches. Like, you don't have to hear it every single play. Like,
What would you rather hear? Omaha.
I mean, I'd rather hear like how we used to. You hear some people calling out stuff, but not as much. I mean, and then you got Collinsworth doing it. Like, that is just the worst of both nightmares, man. Like,
Yeah, I give Collinsworth a
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime he talks, it's just like,
yep.
Next, just let Al Michaels do the broadcast by himself. Or Mike Tirico do the broadcast by himself.
Al is not going to be a part of the NBC broadcast this year, so. There's a little bit of, I don't know if y'all saw the news today, there's a little bit of bad blood, but since he joined Prime and, doing the Amazon thing, and he's not been invited to do any playoff games for NBC this year. So.
That's so stupid.
Yeah,
be a lot more Collinsworth.
So dumb, I mean.
Talk about a kick in the sticks, man.
I'm done with right. Yep. Oh, there it is, right there. All right. So with that, guys, last week rapid fire standings: Ryan 8-7, Trenton 6-9, and I went 9-6. That was our first sub 500 for one of us in like over almost 2 months. So we'd been on a hot streak, but all streaks are made to be broken, and new ones are to be made. So with that, heading into week 15, 2 teams have been officially eliminated from the playoffs, the Pats and the Panthers, which we all kind of knew, but only one team, only the Niners.
Oh, the Patriots?
Have clinched.
The Patriots got eliminated finally?
Yeah.
Patriots are officially
Finally.
Even though they
eliminated.
beat
Yep.
it,
Right on.
even though they
And the
won.
Panthers. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So they are done. But bye weeks are over, so we have a full slate of games this week, starting this week, Thursday night. 3 games on Saturday, Sunday night, and Monday night.
Yes.
So the world of the NFL is expanding. Because did it not feel weird on Saturday?
No college football.
Not watching college football.
Yeah.
It did.
Well, you had
did
Army,
definitely.
Navy.
Which was fun. It always is. It's like it's cool to glance at and have it on his background. But man, yeah.
Armed Services, Iowa football. That's 17-11. So
True.
I mean, that's
the
usually
over/under for that game was 28.
That's usually how
So
it goes.
they had a push on the game. Yeah.
Wow.
Usually how it goes.
Iowa football at its finest. So, guys, with that, we have Easton Stick starting in place of the injured Justin Herbert, taking on Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders. Both teams, guys, at 5-8. Raiders open up as 3-point favorites.
Oh man, I took the Bolts at 16-13. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't. I mean, doesn't sound like Josh Jacobs is going to play. Weston Stick's going to come in there, and do his thing. And Keenan Allen's dinged up. Like, I mean, I think I gave it to the Bolts because based on the weapons they have. So if he can, screen pass to Eckler, same possession receiver with Allen, hopefully he plays, then I can think they can move the ball in position where they might, get some points. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. So, yeah.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah, this might be Vikings and Raiders part 2. Don't want it, but
good chance.
I don't see it being as an exciting Thursday game. So,
I'm gonna good damn chance it's gonna be that way.
Chargers have a lot more weapons, especially if Keenan does play. I know he's questionable. They have Eckler, and the Raiders might be without Jacobs, and might see what Zamir White can do. I don't know. We'll see. But based on that, I'm picking the Raiders. And I don't know, man. You know what I think the difference is? I'm going to go 13-10 Raiders. I think the difference is Max Crosby. I think he has a real nice showcase of a game. So, and he wins it for him.
I have no idea. I did not want to pick this game, but I went with the Raiders as well, and I'm going to go 21-10. I think we might see Jimmy Garoppolo this week.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, trust me, I had the Raiders written down 2 or 3 times and scratched it out. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just left that one blank. I was like, I'm just going to, once I write a team down on this one, that's it.
That's pretty much how it was. I tried to scribble
too.
twice. I was just like, nope, I'm just going this way and just whatever. And yeah. But.
You said 13-10, Ron?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys, we head to Cincinnati with the 7-6 Bengals welcoming the Nick Mullins-led 7-6 Vikings. Big game for both teams.
Yeah.
Bengals, 3.5-point favorites at home.
Oh, I took the Bengals 21-17. I do think Mullins, like I said, is a gunslinger with the weapons he has. If they're all in there, can move the ball on the Bengals. But I think Browning and company have been playing pretty decent, more balanced football, and have the home field advantage. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to them 21-17.
I got the Bengals too, 24-21. I just think Jake Browning over Nick Mullins. Browning's, he's been damn efficient. He's throwing 80% completion. He's, utilizing the weapons he does have too, and taking advantage of that. And I don't know. I like the Bengals at home, and feel he can carry them to another victory.
Yep.
I agree with you guys. This is the first game on Saturday, by the way, at 1 p.m. I like the Bengals 20-10. Yeah, Browning's playing good. I just don't think that Jefferson's 100%. Madison is out. I don't think it really matters who plays quarterback. I think Cincy's D is pretty good at home, and they get the job done. All right. Another big game. AFC implications. Steelers 7-6 heading to Indy to take on Minshew Mania, and the Colts at 7-6. Colts 2.5 point favorites.
I've been on the Minshew magic for a minute, so no need to get off of it, especially playing that team in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, it stinks. It stinks that they're not playing as well. I mean, I'm not necessarily a Steelers fan, but like, it's always something you see them on TV, or especially in the playoffs. You're like, okay, this could be a good game. Like, you just kind of just know it. But they have not performed well this year. So Colts all day, and I have them at 20-14. I don't know how the Steelers score. Maybe a Jalen Warren gets loose, and maybe Trubisky has a pass interference penalty at the 1 and runs it in himself. But yeah, I think the Colts are just the overall better team, so I think they can go in there and take care of it. So,
yeah, I'm with you, T. I'm going to go with some Minshew magic. I like the Colts in this one too. TJ Watt is in concussion protocol too, so he may not even play this game since it's a Saturday game. So I think that makes it even harder if TJ Watt doesn't play. Pretty much like you can kiss the Steelers season goodbye, along with Trubisky's career, which, to be honest, has been gone for a while. I'll take Minshew over Trubisky, but I like the Colts 23-13 over the Steelers.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh could have had a. Oh, never mind. That's just Trubisky.
Hey, I want to say one thing real quick too. That Colts. Before you make your pick, do y'all realize that the Cleveland Browns, we were talking about him before, Joe Flacco's on the practice squad. Any team could go sign him right now. Any team could. The Steelers could go sign him if they wanted to. If they were serious about winning, they could go sign him right now, and he could start for them this week if they wanted to. So apparently they don't care, and the Browns are just going to get him back again.
I don't know why haven't they just signed him?
No idea.
He says
no idea. I guess no money left from Deshaun Watson.
From what I'm understanding, that window's been open for a minute, and so but I think like Flacco wants to stay there,
yeah.
Maybe that's what's going. But again, I don't know why. I wouldn't risk that. I'd be like, I just slap him a quick $1 million or something like that just to make sure he's there, and that way someone can't just come Shark Tank you.
Yeah. So sorry, Sean.
Good point though.
Oh, that's cool. No worries. But yeah, definitely. Very good point. But I like the Colts too. 21-17. I think Colts play really good at home. The crowd gets behind them. JT could be back. So and Michael Pittman having a great year.
Yep.
Severely not talked about enough. But his fantasy stock will go up next year. So that is the 4:30 on Saturday for prime time. Another big game is the Broncos at 7-6 off their thumping of the Chargers take on the Lions, and from their thumping from the Bears. Lions are 9-4 still, 5-point favorites at home.
I took the Lions, 24-21. I just think that they play better at home. I think with what Campbell was saying about getting them all, ready to go again and stuff like that. I think it's I could see them going in there and taking care of it. I think the Broncos don't have much on offense besides Russell to Sutton, with the Lions defense is suspect. So, but something tells me the Lions get it done.
Yeah, I was so torn on this game too, just because the way the Broncos have been playing lately. You know, they're 5-1 in their last 6. Defense has stepped up tremendously. Last 4 games, they forced 12 turnovers, so they've stepped up big time. You know, they might be the first team that could make the playoffs after allowing 70 points in a game. So, you know, I definitely think, but I do agree with T. I just feel like the Lions this week just find a way somehow scrap together a way to win the game. They know they need to win, like we talked about. You know, they cannot fall too far behind on that 3 seed or 4 seed. You know, the playoffs, and they have to win. You know, if they're going to have a chance. So I think they reset things a little bit. I like them winning 30-28.
Dang.
Close shootout. I like that. All right. I've got the Lions as well. 24-18. I think it's just they'll get back on track with some home cooking, but I think it's a late score. And this is a really, really good and competitive game. And props to the Broncos. Like you guys said, I mean, after that 70-point game, they could have just folded and been like, man, this season's going to be like this the whole time. But they've battled, and you could throw in Sean Payton maybe for outside consideration for Coach of the Year. And next we go to one of the hottest teams in football, the New York Giants at 5-8, traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints at 6-7. Saints got a win to keep in, close with the Bucks for the division title, and the Giants are only 1 game out of the wild card. But the Saints do open as a 4.5-point favorites.
Go ahead, Ryan. I'm trying to find it. I can't see where I wrote down.
So yeah, tough game to pick too. I feel like, Giants offense has kind of been clicking with DeVito there a little bit, and Saints offense, I mean, somewhat they start super slow and just finally come back in the end. Carr didn't have a touchdown till halfway through the third quarter, I believe. He looked like shit. Him and CJ Stroud were battling for worst quarterback of the day award. But I like the Saints, man, at home. I just feel like they will find a way to win the game and clip DeVito. But I think it's going to be a little low scoring, but I'm going to go Saints 20.
You're going to cut the cutlets?
Cut the cutlets out.
I like the Saints 20-17.
I took the G-men, took them at 23-21, and much of what Ryan was saying too about the G-men playing better, and I mean I don't know, they're gonna be indoors on turf. I think Barkley can get after him a little bit. Saints defense has been suspect at times, but I think they can go in there and get it done. I really do. I don't know if I trust Carr. As I right now, I trust DeVito over Carr. So I'm gonna roll with him.
Sad.
I know.
Wow.
But that's where we're at. I mean, again, I trust him over to make plays. You know what I mean? Like we saw it last night. I mean, they got some momentum. Like, why not? Let's roll with it. Let's go. So 23-21, they sneak one out.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to get a taste of some more DeVito. 21-17, Giants win. I'm with you. DeVito. I'm with you, T. I don't trust Carr. Never drafted him in fantasy football again. Kamara, great year. Olave, good year, but it would be so much better if Carr could just play like he did, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah,
when he was on fire before he broke his leg.
Just don't get it.
When he was in the MVP conversation. I don't either. And the defense is just falling apart.
Yeah. Injuries. They've lost some very big key pieces on defense. So, again, no excuses, but when you lose some of those star players like Lattimore and stuff like that, those shutdown players, it's going to affect you eventually.
I don't know, man. I think it's just time to Eat that W,
Oh,
man.
my goodness.
It's time to get Winston in and let's go.
Oh, boy. Did he suck the fingers, too?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to.
Okay. All right.
But he does he does a little pop.
Yeah.
He pops when he eats.
I mean, why not let him play? Like, I know they paid Carr that money and all, but like, you're running out of time. So I don't know. Why not?
Yeah.
All teams got to be in win mode now.
No.
Here's another one. Falcons 6-7, traveling to the Panthers 1-12. Oh, poor Panthers.
Oh, this was an easy one. I took the Panthers all day. No.
Did you?
No.
Okay.
Falcons 27-7. I think somehow Thielen gets a touchdown when I'm not going to start him, and yeah, the Falcons are a decent squad. The Panthers are well, let's just say they're a mess. So hot garbage.
Yeah,
hot mess.
I know, right? To be honest with you, this game was a little bit harder to pick because you got to think the Saints are due for some. I mean, the Panthers are due for something, right? You have to think.
Which one is it?
Yeah, you have to think the Panthers are due for something. So, but yeah, I can't honestly pick them. I like the Falcons. I'm pretty close to T-score. I have them 27-10 over the Panthers.
Well, I will be that guy, and I took the Panthers to beat the Falcons in a shootout, 13-12. I don't trust Desmond Ridder on the road, and Arthur Smith just can't get Bijan the ball enough, although Drake London had a great game last week, finally showing what he could do. But I don't know. I'm with you. I think it's just hard to see a team with only one win,
Right.
and I think this is the last chance that they really have to get a win.
Yep.
It's at home.
That's what I thought too, but
weird year. Why not? 13-12 Panthers.
I'll give you that. Though.
The Bears at 5-8.
I'll give you that though, Sean. Like even you too, Ryan. Like like they're due. It's just
that's what I feel like, but it's can't do it.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to see them move the ball down the field. Like that's where I'm just like, because I know the Falcons' defense is decent. So I mean, but again, I'm with you, Sean. I'm with you on what you're saying. So go ahead.
You never know. Never know. All right, Bears 5-8 going to Cleveland at 8-5. Browns 3-point favorites.
Give me them brownies all day. The new Flacco's. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I think that if this was in Chicago, this might be a little bit different. Because the Bears usually show up at home, especially of late. But Bears are very one-dimensional as far as you're throwing the ball to DJ Moore or Cole Kmet. That's it. You don't have a run game unless Fields gets loose. So Browns defense, I think, lays the hammer down, and Flacco has another good game, 26-16.
I like it. I like the Flacco-led Browns here, man. I do. I think their defense is just going to step up, going to reduce Fields from making some big plays, and it's definitely not going to be like throwing on the Lions. Yeah. I like the Browns a lot in this one, man. I have them 24-13 over the Bears.
Sorry, they're showing some dude eating M&M's in the basketball game.
Oh yeah,
he's just
the one that Prince almost ran over.
Oh, there, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll save the yellow ones for you.
He's got a dirty ass white shirt on, and that beard is okay. That's funny.
That's Tommy DeVito's former agent.
It's
but I like the Browns in this.
Throw the M&Ms.
Browns 28-20. Yep. Watch LeBron slip and sprain his ankle on an M&M.
And the toe.
Right.
And the toe. That's right. If you people have never seen that, Google LeBron James's toe,
Do not be
and you'll know what we mean.
Or
do not
don't.
be eating M&Ms while
Yes.
doing so. Yeah.
Yes.
Do not.
Yes. I don't know. Ask Ryan. He'll try anything.
Yeah.
So.
True.
All right, moving along. The Patriots are hosting the Chiefs, coming off their disappointing loss at home, and we all know how that went. So Chiefs sit at 8-5, but are 9.5-point favorites at New England. Is that a big line for that game?
I think so.
I know the Patriots are 3-10.
I think it's a big line, but I'm going to take a ticked off Chiefs team, and at 24-13. I think the Pats are going to try to do the same kind of game plan as last week. It might work, dipping the ball off to Elliott and making some plays there like that. But again, I think the Chiefs are going to be mad, and so I think they're going to go take care of business. Because I mean, at this point, they need to. They're kind of starting to not be as consistent as they once were, and so between them being upset or maybe ticked off, like it's time to it's go time. And so if they are Super Bowl champs and stuff like that, this is a game they need to go in there and take care of business. Period. No matter what Bill's putting on as a helmet. So
yeah, I like the Chiefs. Last week, I thought they would be upset too. I thought they'd be mad after losing to the Packers, and this week, another loss, and now they're not only mad, they're crying about it too. But I do like the Chiefs winning in this game. They're going to get every call. Watch the refs are going to cater to the Chiefs. They're going to be like, "Oh, Mahomes, what do you want? Oh, Patty, what call would you like us to make here? Is it pass interference on the Pats?
See, I
you got it.
I disagree. In Bill's house, I mean, watch them not get as many. Like, watch them get even worse calls to a certain degree. But
true.
I just think they'll just one of those things. They'll play through it. I mean, you've said it all along. Yeah. The refs have been inconsistent all year. So
yeah.
But
Chiefs 31, sorry. Pats 10.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Ryan.
Oh, you're good, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Sean's picking the Pats.
I'm sorry. No. I already took my one big pick.
You picked the Panthers. I mean,
I'm with you guys. Chiefs. That's what I'm saying. I already took my one dangerous pick to help get up in the standings, but I like the Chiefs bounce back. And props to Zeke. Had a good game last week. Highest score? He has a higher scoring game this last weekend than Pollard's had all year.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But Zeke, I like the Chiefs.
Zeke over who?
Zeke's had
Pollard
over Tony Pollard.
Oh, Pollard, yeah.
Had more fantasy points. Yeah. So I guess Zeke's still got a little bit to eat.
Yep.
And he won't be doing it this week because Chris Jones will be in his face all weekend.
Probably so.
All right.
Probably so.
Ryan's Bucks at 6-7. The NFC South leading Bucks, I apologize, are traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Also 6-7. Big game for both these teams. Packers 3.5-point favorites at home.
This one was tough. Several of these have been tough. But I'm going to go with the Packers 28-27. I think the Bucks secondary is suspect, so I think the Packers can make some plays there. But I think this is going to be a back and forth game, and it might come down to a field goal. So that's all. I mean, again, is what's like we said earlier, just write something down and go, and that's kind of where this was after back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I think the Bucks can win this game. I'm just going with what I guess first few thoughts were. So
yeah. Well, speaking of dangerous, what about old Baker Mayfield? As much as I probably hated on him a lot this year, he has played gritty. He has, led some game-winning drives for them. He's
Sure.
For sure.
been,
For sure.
decent this year for them. So, but Bucks, cold weather, it just don't mix. It's still, they're one of the worst teams in the cold and the outer elements. They're lucky they're in the NFC South because they get a game against the Saints, they get a game against the Falcons, and then pretty much their weather is never really bad. But when they go to the cold, travel to the cold, they don't win. So I like it. I like it close too. But I like Packers 27, Bucks 24.
All right. Another clean sweep. I'm with you guys. Packers, a little ticked off for a game they should have won last night, but they didn't. 27-21 Packers. All right.
Cool.
Texans, 7-6. Big game for them as they travel to take on their division rival, the Titans, at 5-8 off their big win on Monday Night Football over the Miami Dolphins. And the Titans open up as a 2.5-point favorite at home.
Yeah, this is another tough one, especially if CJ's not going to play, which I don't think he's going to. But I think the Titans have a huge letdown after this last week. So give me the Texans 22-20 on the road.
Wow.
Davis Mills knows how to play in the offense, and so I just think he can. I think they can go get it done. Again, it's been a weird year, so some of these matchups is why not? Why not?
Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah.
This is also
Tough.
another why not.
Tough game. I think I wish I could have two picks. One if CJ Stroud plays, one if he doesn't, because it changes
right.
the outlook of the game for me for sure. So, but we got to go with what we have now, and I don't think he's going to play either. But I like the Titans, man, at home. I think they're a tough team to beat at home, and I look at it as I just don't like the Texans without Stroud, man, and they're not going to have Nico Collins. They're not going to really have the receiving weapons for Davis Mills to throw to, I don't think, and they're running games in shambles with Pierce and Singletary. Who knows who the lead back is? One week it's one guy, the next week it's the other guy. So Titans, you know what they are: Mayo Boy, Derrick Henry, and D Hop. So give me the Titans in a barn burner, 20-17.
No way. That's exactly the same pick I had and the same score.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
I'm shocked.
20-17.
Absolutely shocked.
I think Mayo Boy pushes the mustard aside and they ride that momentum.
Pushes the mustard.
Vrabel's a good coach. And I think that's just something that, it builds confidence. He didn't play that good. He had that horrible interception, but he found a way to get it done, even though Miami had horrible clock management in that last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And I think that the Texans, yes, CJ Stroud may play, he may not play. Like Ryan said, none of the weapons are going to be really available. And I think it's such a young team that they kind of just taper off at the end of the year. Stroud hasn't hit that rookie wall yet. But I like it, like Ryan said, 20-17 Titans. The red hot Zach Wilson Jets, well, second half hot Jets at 5-8 travel to those Dolphins at 9-4, and Miami opens up as a 9-point favorite. I thought that was a big line.
Yeah,
it is. Even though I have the Fins at 27-17. Again, I think Tyree's probably going to play, and again, I think the Dolphins are going to be a little teed off. So, and it's I don't know. I'd like to see it 2 weeks in a row from Adam Wilson because that's something we haven't seen. So, just yep. We've all seen what's going on this season. So, it's kind of inconsistency a lot. So I think the Dolphins get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Dolphins too in this game.
Doom.
Doom.
Dude.
Get her, Doom.
I like the Dolphins too. I like them to bounce back. I can't imagine. I'm curious to know how if Hill was mainly a decoy a lot in that second half of the game, and I'm wondering how healthy is he going to be. Jets defense is no joke, man. They are tough, hard nosed. They'll knock your ass out. But man, I just like the Dolphins bouncing back. I think old Millhouse McDaniel will get them fired up and have them going. I like them 31-17. Give me the Fins.
31-17.
Yeah.
Everything's come out, Millhouse. All right. I'm with you guys on the Dolphins. 23-17. Jets defense will keep it close. But Tyreek plays. Oh, what did I see today? When Tyreek has 100 yards receiving, Dolphins 8-0.
Yeah.
When he doesn't have 100 yards receiving, 1-4.
Yep.
So big key. Like you guys were saying earlier, that is the offense. Tyreek is the offense. If you take him away and you make Tua beat you, it's a rocky road.
Yep.
Very rocky road.
Rocky road?
Yep.
All right, guys.
Hey, God.
Hey, guys.
Wow.
I could not help myself there. I'm sorry.
He just rushed it. There you go, guys.
Dad, are you okay?
Absolutely not. Oh man.
What?
Oh man.
Okay.
All right. Well.
That was the
Niners.
greatest, worst.
Niners are taking all the cards. Who's gonna win?
Let's see here. I got the Niners 31-13. I mean, clearly they're the best team I think overall right now, and the Cardinals might give them a little stumble in the beginning, but they'll run away with it and take care of more business. So 31-13.
Yeah, I agree to you. Like the Niners in this, Cardinals will give them a little bit of fight, division rival, so whatever you want to call it. But 27-10 Niners over the Cardinals.
I agree. Niners keep on rolling and look to lock up that number 1 seed. 31-17 over the Cards.
Number 1.
But Murray's been playing pretty good, so I like him. I don't know. Is Murray there next year? Just a random question. Do you think he's there next year?
Man,
Yes.
That's a tough one. I think he will be, yeah, too. I don't, unless one of these teams just comes, a knocking and just something he can't really, or they can't really resist, I should say. But I mean, what they've done so far, especially him being back, yeah, I think he stays.
I agree. For at least one more year.
At least one more year.
At least
for
one
sure.
more
One
year.
more full year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
All right, T, your Manders. 4-9, fresh off your bye. 2 weeks to prepare for the Rams in Los Angeles, who are at 6-7 and scary. I don't know if you would call them scary, but kind of unpredicted run by the Rams. I think we all had them going kind of bad this year. But the Rams are 6.5-point favorites after that terrible loss to the, not a terrible loss, but did you see they missed that block in the back on that punt return in Baltimore? So that there's another flag miss that could have been different outcome for the Rams. But the Rams, 6.5-point favorites at home.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Mandos. Man knows, actually. Man, I know I'm not. I'm taking the Rams.
The man don'ts.
I am the man don'ts.
Man don'ts.
The man don'ts. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take the Rams 30-21. Again, I think Howell can put the ball down the field and they can score some points on them. But like, it's clearly the man don'ts are a mess, and the Rams are fighting to get into a playoff spot, and there's a good chance they will. So 30-21.
Yeah, it's one of those games. It's one of those games where I think, like, you come off the Rams coming off. I know they lost and everything, but they have to feel good about their team chances. The way they played. A really tough team on the road, being able to come home, play indoors. And get kind of a team they're heavily favored over. It's kind of a formula for one of those upsets. But I'm picking the Rams. After all that, I still got the Rams. I still got the Rams. I know after a bye, I just feel like field goal Ron's going to go crazy, kicking the ball. So I like the Rams in this one. I'm going to go 28-17 Rams over the Manders.
All right. Well, I'm with my man T on this one because I also have the Rams at a 30-21 score. I'm with you, Ryan. I think that the Rams have a good formula. Cup's healthy.
Oh.
Him and Nakua are a good 1-2 punch. Kyron Williams has been fantastic.
Yep.
Savior. Probably, would you say he's the most unexpected fantasy performer?
Sure.
This year?
Oh, yeah. I think people kind of saw it.
Definitely been.
Yeah, I can't remember. Last year he was on everyone's radar, and never really got the chance to play a lot. And this year, finally, now that he's doing it, he's showing that he can be a guy.
Finally, they shipped out Cam Akers.
Yeah, I know someone asked
they
something
finally shipped out Cam Akers,
and they said, "Who would you take rest of career? Would you take Kyron Williams or Tony Pollard?" And
I take Kyron.
It's a tough call, man. It's kind of tough when you think about it, but I'd probably take Kyron too, So
over who? Pollard?
Yeah.
Over Pollard, yeah.
Yeah, the easy one. Definitely take Williams.
So
yeah, he's been a savior on a couple of my fantasy teams. The ones that actually made the playoffs, he's on. So thank you, Kyron. Keep it going, man. All right, the best game of the weekend, maybe. I don't know.
Tough.
One of the best ones. Just a lot of good games this weekend. But the Cowboys, off their big win, 10-3, traveling to the desperate Buffalo Bills, who are at 7-6, trying to keep that momentum going that they got from the bad call in Kansas City. But the Bills open up as 2.5-point favorites at home.
Interesting.
90s all over again. Here we go.
We know how that went.
Yep, and that's why I'm going to, just have to take the Bills, 27-23.
There you go.
Excellent.
I just, the Cowboys have been on a streak, for one. They've been playing really well. They played some teams that weren't all that great and all that, and then beat a couple that were with a winning record. You go into Buffalo. I don't think it's an easy place to go play. And then I think this is also a big test for Dak and how he's going to play up there. So just give the edge to the Bills in this game. I'm not hating on the Cowboys or anything like that. I just think this is where they stump their toe, if that makes sense. So,
LeBron toe.
27-23 to the LeBron toe comes in play.
Man, tough. Yeah, Cowboys 7-0 at
Thank you.
home, 3-3 on the road. So, they've been pretty average on the road. They definitely haven't played their best on the road. So, Bills coming off that huge win, beating the Chiefs in Kansas City. Give me the Cowboys. I don't know. Something about
Shocked. Shocked.
I,
It's got to be the
I've
shocker pick of the
like
year.
you've written Minshew magic.
Ooh.
The Cowboys have won when I've picked them too, so I can't
When
I
have
can't
you
go
not?
against them. Hey, I did pick against them in a few games this year. I did pick the Eagles over them.
Yeah,
4 weeks
sure.
ago, whenever it was, but yeah, I don't know. Something about it. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I love it. Super high scoring. I think it's going to come down to a touchdown scored at the very end. But I like the Cowboys 35-31 over the Bills.
Goodness, you did go back to the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Watch out, Leon Lett. There is a sighting in Buffalo, but he's only getting wings. I like the Bills 28-24. I think Buffalo's more in a must-win mode.
Yep.
And Josh Allen is just too good. Ryan, you're right about Dak proving himself on the road. Should be cold. I don't know how much that affects, but I think Buffalo is just too good to be at 7-6. I mean, when you got one of the best quarterbacks on the planet, you should be
sure
better record at this point in the season. So we go to the number 1 seed Ravens at 10-3, traveling down to Duval County to take on the 8-5 Jags. Ravens 3.5-point favorites.
Give me them Jaggies all day. I don't know. I think they somewhat bounce back. They're also at home. I know the Ravens and their defense, Lamar Jackson, and all that other hoopla, blah blah blah. I just think they have a letdown, and much like Sean's saying about the Bills, the Jags are kind of in this must-win situation too because they got other teams breathing down their neck. So,
yep,
I think I think they just get to play him better this week. I just simply do. Now that Lawrence will be a little bit more healthier, and I think it's going to go back and forth. I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those games, but I got it at 23-21. I think it's one of those things that Jags could go down the field and kick a last-second field goal, or they simply could get a lead, and then the Ravens just don't go get it done. But give me them Jags.
Yeah, I know. This was another tough game to pick. I think it's going to be another awesome game to watch. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll say this.
This is a Sunday night game.
Yeah, I will say this. The Jags have lost to Joe Flacco and Jake Browning the last 2 weeks. So give me Lamar over those two guys any day. I got the Ravens winning 30-24. Odell Beckham's playing like it's 2018. Zay Flowers has been stepping it up, and Lamar's he's making that MVP push to me. He really wants that MVP trophy, and so that's why I like the Ravens in this game.
Well, he already has an MVP trophy. What he needs to want is a playoff win.
Sure.
He needs a playoff win because he only has one in his very good career. He's been fantastic this year. But I like the Ravens in a close one, 24-22. Jags go for two late to try to tie it up, but get stopped short. And finally, Monday Night Football, the Eagles coming off their home thumping from the Cowboys, still sitting at 10-3, but they traveled to Seattle to take on the reeling Seahawks at 6-7. Philly, though, only a 3.5-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, it's easy to think it's going to be a close game, but if Geno's not going to play, then, and even if he does, again, I think the think the Eagles are a little ticked off too. So I got them at 30-13. Even though I know it's tough to go up into Seattle and play up there, but I don't know. Seahawks looks pretty suspect of late. I mean, the Cowboys dropped some points on them, so I don't see why in the world the Eagles won't. So 30-13, Eagles.
Yeah, Seattle, tough place to play. I will say that Drew Lock did not look horrible against the Niners. He actually played fairly decent.
No,
he was not.
Did not.
He was not terrible. It was not a turnover fest like I think everybody thought. So I like the Eagles winning in a very close game, 28-27.
28-27?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
Hopefully DK will play the whole game and not get kicked out.
Right.
But with that, I still like the Eagles. I think they'll bounce back. I like them 30-21 and start getting their playoff run together. Man, that was good.
Yes.
All right. Well, good thing we had the short episode, the first one, because we like to go long. We've got to change rapid fire. It's not rapid fire.
No, it's not. No, there's nothing
Let's
rapid about
rename
it.
it.
No.
Call it the, I don't even know. The slow burning fire.
It's coming up Millhouse. Let's just call it Millhouse.
There you go.
Okay. Hey, Ryan. Tell these people where they can find us.
You can find the Real Tree Shaker Show on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Amazon Music. Everywhere you can find us, please comment, please listen. We appreciate all of you and want to grow our audience.
Whoa.
Share with your friends.
Please do.
Yes. I mean, we have been through 5 months of this. It's been so much fun.
Yes.
It's always my favorite day of the week.
For sure.
To hang out with you guys.
Yes.
It's definitely worth waiting for, but every show must come to an end. I got to find the right button. There we go.
Oh, there it is. All
Thanks for listening. We'll be back. Stay warm. Stay safe. Get ready for those holidays. Enjoy some really good football games.
Happy Hanukkah.
And as always, this has been The Real Tree Shaker. And Yom Kippur.
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Peace.